This is Salamancer. You're watching SalTV Competitive TF2, and when I started this game up, it seemed to be in the middle of the action, and I started to find some weird stuff, like this soldier, for instance, and what was behind him started to look a little strange. But then I found this guy and his goofy twin, and I wasn't even done yet. Because then there's this guy. Oh, what a game, Team Fortress 2, you rock. Anyway, this is going to be a wonderful, wonderful, disgustingly, corpse-filled game between DayZ of our lives and Weekend Warriors, and it's actually already started. So you do see that right now. Oh, B-Man just got a huge pick, actually, on a soldier. We were already in the middle of the game. It actually started in the middle, which I think is why we saw so many, like, random deaths. B-Man, a really good sniper right now. This is ESEA Intermediate, and the way this started, I'm pretty sure that the Weekend Warriors were placed 7th, and their opponents, the DayZ of our lives, were in 9th. So this does have some playoff implications for our good friends in ESEA Intermediate. Whoa, D-Flame, you gotta watch out for those sticky traps, man. Do not get killed by that. Crux taking out his mate Afro, though. So it does look like both snipers are actually down for the moment, but B-Man will respawn, trying to defend this last point on process. And why did Snailboat just take damage from behind? Actually, oh. Okay, right, because they're defending the last point, and they're trying to... that was really... Okay, I'm dumb. B-Man, once again, with the snipes. This guy is all over the place. They're trying to bring in Afro on the Weekend Warriors to take him down. But he's got a long walk ahead of him, and then, of course, when he gets there, he doesn't know where the enemy sniper is, but, of course, B-Man is just ruining his entire team, so what are you going to do? Oh, B-Man! What is going on? He's just ruining everybody on the Weekend Warriors, so he's going to go for this Scout here, too. Scout does manage to jump out of the way of the headshot. So we'll just take a shot to the shoulder and be perfectly fine, I think. But when you got a sniper like this on your team, using this upper hand, as it's called, the op reskin of the TF2 sniper rifle, what can the enemy team do? They try to push into your last point, and they get destroyed, decimated, demolished, destructed, and there goes Headcrab. So medic down. It's going to mean that SS, the medic for the DayZ of our lives, is going to be feeling pretty good about this. Oh, and my God, how does B-Man do it? He's going to go for the epic shot on the flying Demo Man and completely whiff that one. And then trying to take down Afro, who does manage to finally bomb in and kill B-Man. But my God, he's been through, like, killing every single one of their team twice. So GJ Bob indeed. I'm not sure who Bob is, but... Oh, I hate playing against snipers like that. I hate it. It's really bad in Highlander because, like, if a team works correctly, and we heard Seabear complain about this, if a team does things correctly, they'll have their sniper protected by, like, an engineer and a pyro, and you can just never get near him, and he can be completely unstoppable. But to see that same kind of... Whoa, hey, Demo Man, just FYI, you got a scout, like, on your flank right now. You might want to take care of that. And this is pretty much going to be DayZ of our lives getting out on the point and capping it. The scout actually should have stood there on the point. He could have capped it if he'd just taken a couple bullets from that heavy. There you go. Medic going to get the capture and finish D-Flame off with those needles. My God. That was actually pretty ridiculous. So I was complaining about snipers. But essentially to see B-Man wrecking people that much as a sniper is pretty awesome. Puff, though. We're going to watch Puff the Magic Demo Man here as he gets out to mid and starts laying some stickies down. He's doing that Banny rollout that we saw in the LG versus Mix-Up game, which if you haven't seen that yet, it's on youtube.com/comft now, and basically is the most epic game of TF2 I've ever casted. But this one promises to be pretty good as well. Jay Beneducci hitting the sky out of mid-air, so Puff didn't even get any damage on him before he ate an air shot. And Puff still trying to actually get really far forward here. He's going to try and chase down that enemy Demo and disconnect him from the med, but it doesn't look like it worked all that well. Headcrab wants to catch up with somebody up here, but no, Crux and SS are going to be in retreat. I don't actually think I know who SS is unless he has, like, renamed himself. I used to know a guy named the SS Failboat, but that's got to be a different guy, I think. Maybe it's the same guy. Anyway, SS almost has Uber, but is not healing people, so this could be a little weird. But looks like the Uber's not coming in yet. And once again, B-Man on the snipes. And so he is going to be trying to defend. Looks like this has happened twice now. So his team loses mid. But then the DayZ of our lives, they bring out B-Man on the sniper, and he just wrecks people. This is ridiculous. He's going to go for a shot on the Demo, but he's not going to get that one quite. That Demo is so exposed right now. Okay, Puff. Puff, you are scaring me, Puff. Puff is, by the way, he's like the nicest guy in TF2. at least that I've heard. And I do hear the occasional story about people who are like, oh, Puff ignored me once because I was trying to talk to him and he wouldn't. And I'm just like, okay, but I'm sure he gets talked to by everybody all the time. And he is like, it's especially nice to me. I'll say that much right now. He's really super nice to me. Oh, finally, Brandon getting the revenge on B-Man. I wish I could talk a little better because then that would have sounded really good. But yeah, revenge on B-Man because B-Man was just on a spree. Nobody could stop him. And so he's finally been stopped. Maybe going to be taking off his confidence horse a little bit here. Snailboat trying to chase down Brandon now, and he will manage to get that kill, but he's deep in enemy territory. He does get taken down by D-Flame. Crux is going to be leading the charge in here to try and recapture mid for Days of Our Lives. And it looks like it'll work. Their opponents are nowhere to be found here. They might be bombing in one soldier, but he is nowhere close to the med, and that's really what you want to get with that soldier, is get the med. Afro did not manage to do that at all. Although Crux did just die, which is no good for their team. And now all of a sudden, Blue putting a push right back. I'm sorry, Red. I'm colorblind, kids. Putting a push right back together, and with Brandon supporting from behind, I think. Oh, I think Brandon will get a headshot, is what I was about to say. I wasn't about to say anything else there. Like they'll successfully stop the capture, or I mean they did, but you know. Anyway, B-Man did get taken out there, so it does look like the Weekend Warriors are actually figuring out how to deal with that. The problem is that it's much easier to deal with a sniper when he's out in the open than when you're trying to push into the enemy's last. And B-Man, I guarantee he's going to respawn a sniper. And there he is. He's on sniper. So the Uber's already in, though, so he's not going to be able to do that much against this until the Uber expires. And not a lot of really good kiting coming in from the blue team. They're kind of staying in front of red, which is not a great way to do this. They will, however, be able to take down a lot of players. Afro getting taken out. Puff is in B-Man's sights right now. Takes a back shot down to 2 health. But it does look like D-Flame will get taken out, and Snailboat wants to chase down that demo. Oh, he just did 1 chip shot, Snailboat. And there you go, Puff taken out. I don't know if Puff realized there's supposed to be a health kit down there or what, but he just could not get out ever. And apparently my stream chat is really going nuts over the confidence horse. I guess they like the confidence horse. Well, it turns out, kids, that confidence horse, it can be a double-edged sword and fall over like a house of cards in a... I don't even know. I'm going to try and mix as many metaphors into this as possible. But the confidence horse is not actually a great thing to be on all the time. Sometimes the confidence horse can become the overconfidence horse. And the overconfidence horse is lame and kind of behaves a little bit stubbornly like a donkey. And I don't know how much farther I can actually carry this metaphor and still be remotely interesting, which I don't even think I am. Weekend Warriors going to be pushing in here, and I can't see any equine behavior right now. It looks like they are taking their opponents very seriously, and giving them the respect they deserve. Brandon wants to get that shot on the enemies, but I think they spotted his sniper dot, so they will be retreating and not poking their heads back out there again. Weekend Warriors will have another shot at pushing back in. Look at that respawn time on Crux and B-Man. It was like 20 seconds. That's going to give them plenty of time to push in and try to cap this. They shouldn't really have any problem. But there is an Uber, actually. That is going to be the saving grace here for Days of Our Lives. Afro will jump in, try to take them this heavy, and he will not be able to do it. Brandon will finally finish that off, though. Good headshot there from the sniper, who is overhealed. So it's going to make it very tough to take him out. Ska eats a bunch of rockets, and now Weekend Warriors looking solid here, sort of, except not. Oh my god. This fighting is, it looked like it was going to go in the direction of Weekend Warriors, but they just weren't able to get quite enough damage out. So by the end there, that was really good kiting by our blue team. Days of Our Lives. DayZ, by the way, a game, I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's a game I really want to try to play. I just haven't had the time to sit down and properly play it. But I tell you what, when the standalone version of that comes out, I am totally going to do it. And there you go, making sure to avoid the overconfidence horse there, as our Days of Our Lives team did manage to avoid that sticky trap quite correctly. So it's just one of those things you got to do. Wherever you walk, as long as the enemy demo man is alive, watch those sticky trap locations. And they did it really well, so looking pretty good. B-Man was thinking about going for a flank there, but the enemies have already retreated very effectively, and they are watching that garage. So there will be no flanking going on here. Brandon wants to get a snipe off on this med. He just actually took a shot a little bit too early because the med's head was just cresting that hill. Could have had a chance to maybe take that Uber out before it started, but it's too late now. The Weekend Warriors are getting back up to their last point here, and they were so close. I tell you, they were so close to putting a point on the board not like 2 minutes ago. And now they are sitting back on their own last point with Puff in an interesting little dangerous position here, although the pipes are ruining people right now. Jay Beneducci using the Uber to actually finish them off, but I mean, he hardly even had to deal any damage. Puff was just able to destroy, and Jay Beneducci jumping in on top of that med and just wrecking him. So that is going to be Weekend Warriors with a nice little defense. I really don't know why Days of Our Lives decided to push in there. I don't think they had Uber. I don't think they had anything close to Uber. So that was a weird little decision that cost them quite a bit of territory. But we'll see what happens here. I'm actually getting a message from one of the players in this game telling me to watch his POV at some point. I mean, everybody will get their chance on the camera. Head crab we just watched right there. Good positioning here by our red team, making sure that they have this choke point very well covered. Because it's actually the widest choke point that really exists to get in here. You've got this little door, but that's a very narrow door. And then same thing here, about the same size of a door. So the middle choke point is really where most of the pushes will happen. And so if they can keep that very well guarded, then they've pretty much got a lockdown on midpoint. So we do have Weekend Warriors deciding to push in right now. And D-Flame, he's got nice positioning. They're actually bringing a heavy. Oh my. This is going to be pretty scary. Because this heavy... Where is he? I want to find him. He is really, really close to enemy team right now, and he's taking the Uber. This is ridiculous. Dove is going to have to pop an Uber of his own. He's going to have to flash it, though. The sniper B-Man goes down. Crux goes down, and now all of a sudden, this blue Uber is over. Ska gets eaten alive by a good old heavy weapons guy standing down here. That was the weirdest push I've ever seen, and it probably shouldn't have worked, but I'll tell you, the blue team was not really watching that garage as aggressively as they should have been, and so they let Brandon get really, like, right up in their face before they even realized the enemy team had a sniper, or I'm sorry, a heavy. And that is going to be a problem. Now a Pyro comes out, and B-Man, I've seen him on the Pyro before. I know he's a good Pyro, but he does get, Pyro just does not beat heavy. Especially, I don't even know why they had a Pyro out there, but they're going to lose this. It's just Snailboat left with 34 health, and honestly, somebody should be walking into mid right now. That is going to be Java Beneducci. Snailboat will try and stop this, and actually he does manage to get a pretty decent shot off. The heavy is spun up, but eats a couple pistols to the face, and Snailboat with the save. I don't understand why they didn't manage to take that. I don't even know what I was saying before then, but this is starting to turn into kind of a ridiculous game. Snailboat, he wants to cap this point, but he's going to start taking some sticky spam from his opposing demo man, Puff. And that's not just any sticky spam. That is magical pill spam from Puff, the magic demo man. So that is going to take out Snailboat very effectively. Of course, the problem now is he's actually getting way too aggressive. Puff just walked into a scout and a bunch of spam and died. And let me tell you right now, walking into spam, like if you do it literally, sounds really gross. You know, like Lunchable, disgusting Lunchable meat? That's like, imagine a tub full of that and just walking into spam. That's basically what it's like. It's pretty gross. Pretty darn disgusting. Also, I've been told I say the words pretty darn quite a lot, but I love it. I'm not going to stop saying that. Deal with it. Oh, go for the air shot. Go for the... Oh! I was so hoping he would go for that. Puff, you wonderful man, you. Oh, that was great. Okay, Weekend Warriors now should have no problem taking this. It's 6 against 3. They've got 100% Uber advantage. They really should be able to take this last point. The only problem is that last point is very friendly to teams kiting enemy Ubers. It's so wide open, and the chokes into it are so narrow. The Uber's in right now. Afro's going to come in and start laying some damage down on... Whoa! Both of those soldiers died at roughly the same time from heavy weapons guy bullets, and the sniper is not going to be enough to stop this. It is now 1-1. Between these two teams, looking very evenly matched. Do remember, going into this game, they were 7th and 9th seed, respectively. That is 7th for Weekend Warriors, 9th for Days of Our Lives. So, evenly matched teams? Yes, I think so. Where are our teams right now, actually? Who's getting here first? I need to find the demo man. Come on. Crux is actually taking the sewer rollout, which is just a little bit slower, but if he thinks his enemy demo is actually faster to mid, then it's a good little way to take advantage, take some surprise. But the soldiers are jumping up to mid now. We've got high ground currently held a little bit, by our blue team, but they don't even need it anymore. They're just going to get into the enemies. Scouts dying left and right. One of these scouts actually coming around behind, and I want to see where he's going, because it looks like he may go for a flank, but I don't think he even needs to. There's nobody alive to flank. It's just the one scout trying to take down the med, and SS will have 100% Uber advantage. This is going to look pretty good for Days of Our Lives. So they will cap second. They will have no problem getting into last here. The problem is what they do once they're in there. They are going to be walking into a demo man. Puff trying to force them to pop that Uber really early. He laid a stick down, and so the med did go ahead and pop that. Sentry's at level 1. It is going to get taken out pretty quickly. Level 1 sentries don't have a lot of HP, and actually, it didn't even get taken out. It just kind of it disappeared. And it disappeared because the engineer, of course, decided to swap classes back to Scout or whatever it was, realizing that really the level 1 sentry is just going to be useless. But nonetheless, Days of Our Lives pushed that very effectively, and I like their positioning on these pushes. You know, or maybe I just really don't like Weekend Warriors positioning on these pushes. But either way, Weekend Warriors doesn't have a good enough defense to handle the really aggressive, the really good soldier jumps that come in. So high ground once again, contested right now between the teams. We do have a attempt at a bomb over there by one of the blue soldiers, but he's not able to take advantage of anything. The scouts are both in on the med, not able to get him. Headcrab with some very good dodging right now. His team is protecting him effectively. And B-Man and Snailboat will get taken out as a result. It is just Crux and SS left, and they will not be able to do anything other than retreat, maybe lay a couple of traps, and get back on last. So at the very least, they're going to have a nice little Uber to hold on to the point. And I do like the location of this trap. We'll see if anybody really notices that it is there. Soldier deciding to... he sees the trap. Okay. Darn. It's always more fun when nobody sees the trap and they lose a med to it, but whatever. Crux is going to start laying more traps. Of course, he's going to be spotted doing so, but it doesn't even matter if they see him at this point. It's just like, look, you can't get in this way because I have a trap here, or you're going to have to pop Uber. So, you're going to have to go another way. And that other way, our sniper is going to cover that. So, you know, deal with it. And guess who's on the sniper? Yes, we all know who it is. B-Man, who... oh, no, okay, I was confused. I thought he was in the spawn. But no, he's actually really, really far forward here. And they've got to be careful about this. As far forward as they are, if the enemy sniper gets a good angle on their med, they are in trouble. So they need to be very sure that Afro does not get that angle. Yeah, they know the sniper's there now. It's going to be sniper versus sniper battle. B-Man needs the overheal. There you go. He will get that overheal, keeping himself above 150. Above 150 is really important because if Afro gets a quick scope headshot, that's 150 damage. And if he's above 150 health, B-Man, then he will be okay to hold on. Sniper versus sniper. Very good dodging for both these guys. And meanwhile, this entire Uber is going on. And finally, Afro finishes him off. The blue Uber is just fading away here. B-Man, I'm not sure what the deal is there. Apparently, they're just having some friendly banter there, but I'm not sure I like where that's going. But it sounds like Afro is still on a sniping spree. Fred Wardo wants to make sure that he keeps himself well-heeled and well-oiled for this fight. And you know, yes, he is a wrestler. He's not actually wearing that luchador mask, but I tell you what, I bet luchadors like oil up all the time before their fights because, you know, you got to look good. And it's good for wrestling, right? I don't actually know why Oilers wrestle, really. Or I mean, what did I just say? I don't know why wrestlers oil up. I don't actually know the reason for that. So somebody, I wish I knew what I was saying, like even a quarter of the time. I don't, though. I pretty much just, like, the first thing that pops into my head, my brain is just like, your mouth is going to say this now. And my mouth is like, okay. And then my ears eventually catch up, and they're like, now hold on a second, you guys. Something is up here, okay? Something's up. But by that point, you know, I'm like 5 miles ahead of where I was before. We've got Afro on the sniper now, trying to hold mid, but Uber onto Snailboat, which is a pretty good idea. He's going to be able to deal a lot of damage. Not quite enough, though, actually. And I think if there had been a soldier in position, that might have been a better choice, but they really didn't have a soldier available. And once again, they are pushing forward with Fred Wardo on the heavy. It's a bit of a weird choice. Especially because the heavy is hard countered by exactly what Afro is doing. Afro on the sniper is able to just headshot him time after time, especially when he's standing there spun up. Now the problem is that the Weekend Warriors have lost mid, and so anybody they kill is probably going to get that forward spawn. Plus there's a back cap going on behind them now. That's going to be a problem. Sky is going to be able to use this time to jump back forward. Jay is going to try and stop this. Not able to get that air shot on the Scout, and the Scout is going to start pressuring him, but no, not quite able to do enough. Meanwhile, though, the Med had to abandon the Heavy trying to come back to help Jay Beneducci, and Jay just walks into a Heavy, doesn't get the Uber from the Medic. And so that is the walk of shame right there. The Medic not able to keep his team healed at all. Don't know really what the miscommunication was, but oh, head crab. It's going to give a lot of room for this team to do stuff. Although I guess SS died somehow there. I completely missed that fact. So that is why B-Man ran around to try and pick him up and get him building that Uber again. Their teams are about even here. It could have been worse for the Weekend Warriors. It could have been a lot worse. They could have lost their med, but it was pretty funny. Their med dropped players, and it was hilarious. Oh, man, this game. Okay, so Scout's just diving in there, but B-Man eats a rocket. I mean, that's kind of what you expect as a Scout. If you were the first one through a choke point, you were going to eat a lot of spam. And now Snailboat spots himself a soldier, but Afro takes him down over in this flank. Suddenly, the Weekend Warriors are taking advantage of the disorganization of their enemy team. And so Crux will try and stop this attack coming in through the choke, but it is a little bit too late. The Uber is finally popped for Days of Our Lives. It's going to be a really good Uber for them as long as they can manage to flash the correct players, which they will. And that is so much death on the red team. It's just Puff left alive, 1 health left, and he does manage to get a kill on B-Man before he dies, which is pretty cool. But not cool enough. SS is going to have a huge Uber advantage as long as he finds somebody to heal. He's actually not even trying to find anybody to heal. He just wants to... Are you joking? Are you joking? He just taunted on the enemy last point. They didn't even have second capped yet. And that is... Oh my god. SS. That was... I tried to call head crab on the walk of shame, but that was just ridiculous. Okay? That was ridiculous. Weekend Warriors now, after their opponents decided to try and act like trolls and completely fail that, are going to be pretty decent on defense. They've got an Uber advantage, which they could use to even try a little soft push out. And of course my stream chat has to bring this back up. Wrestlers like to get oiled up because it makes them harder to grab. So I thought that might be the case. I was like, maybe there's some other reason other than that it's just hard to grab a slippery person. But apparently that's mostly it. So, I don't know. Anyway, we may see at this point these teams kind of settle in for red defending the entire time. Yeah, especially because they've got an engineer here. You don't really... Well, I was going to say you don't really want to push out with an engineer, but then I remembered Mackie exists, and I kind of thought better of saying that, because Mackie exists. B-Man knows what I'm talking about. Mackie pushes with engineer whenever he feels like it, and it's hilarious. Afro, though, where is he? Where is he? He's probably just kind of sitting back towards his spawn. Afro? Afro? There we go. He is going to be looking for the angle, wants to see where his enemies decide to pop their heads out of, because as soon as that Uber's ready, they are going to be walking in. And the sentry gun seems to have changed position a little bit here. Brandon is actually doing something that really good engineers will do, and that is lay down the sentry at random spots just because when the enemy sees the sentry, they're going to assume it's in one place. So if you pick it up and move it somewhere else, when they come in with the Uber, which it looks like they're about ready to do, they're going to be expecting it somewhere, and it's going to be somewhere completely different. It's going to it just throws a monkey wrench into everything. So Uber, I would expect, is going to pop in pretty soon. But it looks like our blue team is content to kind of play this slow. It is 2-1 right now. They've got the point advantage, and Fred Wardo has like 3 dominations. But the point is, they actually just kind of want to wait for a pick, and they don't really want to put themselves at risk of losing this push. So I like the idea. Problem is, the med is actually poking his head out here. But they do get the kill on Afro, so the sniper's down. I like that. I don't even know how that managed to work without Afro getting a shot in the med, but it did. And now the Uber does come in from our red team. They are going to be able to hold this for a little while, keeping 4 players alive. But Brandon and Afro, both the utility classes, as it were, are gone. And now the positioning is actually really good for the blue team, or at least it was. Ska gets taken out, though. Fred Wardo gets away with 15 health. But how long is that even going to last, as SS is not going to try and reconnect with him? Oh, I guess eventually he will. But they're going to die. There's just no question. He is going to die here. And that's the problem with playing heavy, is that, I mean, you've really, you know, especially in a situation where we were retreating, you only have like 250 health. Even if your med's healing you, if a soldier just gets right in your face, by the time you have spun up your gun and you're even ready to fire, he's already like blasted you with 2 rockets. So... yeah, Heavy's actually not as strong as these guys, you know, especially if you've already dealt a bunch of damage to him. Not that strong. Snailboat comes and gets a huge pick on Headcrab, though, so I should probably just stop, you know, my rambling, because this game is action-packed. SS does come up just a little bit earlier, so he will have a bit of an Uber advantage now. Not much of one, but 5 or 10 seconds could be all they need to make this work. Crux down, Brandon down, Jay Beneducci using that force pull to grab that rocket launcher. wasting 1 rocket to get 10. I like that. I like that. But we are going to see these teams pushing forward here pretty soon. Weekend Warriors wants to get in to, well, past mid. Right now they did have to connect with their med, but they are going to try and force their opponents out of here. Once they've, well, I was thinking once they had the Uber, then I realized they have actually got a disadvantage. SS, is he on crits? He can't be. No, he's on regular Uber. Okay, all right. We have not seen crits yet this game, by the way, which I want to see more crits. That's what I want. But SS is ready to push in right now, and he's got both his soldiers actually on this flank, along with a nice little sticky trap to protect them in case of severe attack. It sounds like one of those, you know, in case of severe attack, please break glass, and behind it is just like a gun with 1 bullet. You know what to do. Anyway, Uber, oh, that was a little macabre. Uber coming in here, and one soldier actually just kind of gets stuck behind. Not sure what was going on there. Maybe he ate a bunch of stickies and it forced him out. Dove getting popped up in the air. I like that juggle here by this soldier. Brandon and his fellow scout are just trying to chase down the remaining enemies. Not sure why Brandon decided to say the same line twice, but Ska managing to take him out nonetheless. It is just Ska left, though, and he is... Oh, nice little hit on D-Flame, but it doesn't really matter all that much, as Headcrab will be able to heal that right back up. Jay Beneducci, though, already in last. He wants to put the pressure on. Afro has decided to play Spy here. Not any particular reason for that, but Weekend Warriors might be able to take this point. Jay Beneducci, though, gets taken out. There is a scout on that point. He is pressuring the med, but will get taken out by B-Man. So Afro might actually have a chance to go huge here, as we say in the biz. No spam coming in towards either door yet. So the blue team is actually... Uh-oh. He may have... Oh, they heard him. They heard him. They heard him. Afro, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. They know. They know. So the problem with decloaking is that whooshing sound is actually really loud. And he has now been spotted. There is nothing Afro can do here. They all know he's there. And he just jumps straight into the gun. What else can you do? That sucks. Whoa! B-Man with a huge snipe, though. Utility class is shining again on this last point of CP process. That is B-Man taking out the offense in a single swipe. As the Weekend Warriors lose their med. They do kill Crux, though. Brandon gets a nice little kill there. So B-Man, realizing the demo is down, they may actually have to drop back a little bit and not have this push takes their second point. So Weekend Warriors might have a reprieve. They might be able to get another attack. Try it again to tie this game up. Not even sure how much time is left in this half, but it cannot be a lot. And this game is going to be going on for a while. But Afro is not done, okay? I like Afro's decision making. He's just like, screw you guys, okay? Oh, there's an engineer here. That's okay, though. That's okay. The sentry is not down, actually. I thought I saw a bunch of spam coming in after it, but no, sir, it is not down. So, okay, now, 10 seconds from now, I want Afro to come back as Spy again. Afro, please respawn as Spy. Because if he does, I'm telling you right now, nobody's going to expect it. Oh, he went Soldier. Okay, well, whatever. Oh, I would have loved to see that. A triple Spy in a row. Just because, who expects that? It's like a Spy came in a third time in a row? Really? It didn't work the first 2 times and you thought it worked this time? Really? Because that would have been hilarious, but that's not what's going to happen. Afro is, of course, playing a straight-up game here on the Soldier. Looks like they are ready to push in, and the Uber does come in right now. We're going to watch this through B-Man's cam. He's just like, oh, there's an Uber over there? Well, I'm going to try and shut down this side then. Pyro out, and B-Man does get a nice shot on Puff, so that's going to help them out. Now pulling out that SMG just to try and deal some DPS to the ET enemy team. I don't know. I thought it would be cool to put one more acronym in there. B-Man, though, does get a nice little body shot on Headcrab to finish him off. Weekend Warriors, they want to defend this, but B-Man actually... he goes for the... Oh, this is going to suck. B-Man... Oh, okay, that's why. Because there was no time, so that's why all that weird pushing happened. Well, we're going to come back for that second half. Alright, well, I missed the immediate rollout, but that's okay. We're watching Crux as he gets to mid here in the second half. Crux Dove. And he's able to lay some sticks down, although I think he missed the stickies there on the blue team. Do remember they have swapped sides. Weekend Warriors now in the blue. And of course, their opponents in Days of Our Lives in the red. Crux trying to do some damage here. Doesn't realize there was actually a soldier on top of him who was putting some pressure on his med. His med is now down. The Weekend Warriors are going to be capping mid very effectively. Headcrab, by the way, I totally messed this up. Headcrab is a she, so I'm going to use a correct personal pronoun from now on. Head Crab keeping her team pushing forward and stayed alive. So she's got 100% Uber. Their opponents have like 3%. So, you know, it's a nice little disparity. It's a pretty good disparity to have if you are the Weekend Warriors. It's pretty awful for the red team. So how is the red team going to respond to this? They know they're going to get this Uber pushing into them very soon. And pretty much they're going to respond by, you know, they may have to walk back into spawn or hide from it. That's the only thing you can do is hide. And so they're going to keep their... Wow, Fred Wardo stayed alive with 43 health. He's going to hit the cabinet and come right back out. As a heavy, Head Crab gets taken out, but the rest of her team is pushing in and doing a lot of damage. They should be able to do this, actually. I think they've got it. They've got Brandon on the point right now. Medic comes in, tries to get the Uber Saw kills, but I'm sorry, SS, it's just not going to happen. So there you go, Weekend Warriors tying this up very quickly in the second half. I think that does make it 2-2. 2-2 in a 2-2. I'm sorry, I had to. Weekend Warriors now going to be pushing out to another mid. And how will they take this one? We're watching the D-Flame cam here as both scouts decide to get on top of that rock. Afro killed right away. That's a soldier down already, and that's going to give a lot of confidence to the red team. They're going to get right up on that confidence horse and ride into the enemy's faces from the high ground. You see that that horse is a very powerful horse and is carrying his team very quickly to flank the enemy and just defeat them. But B-Man looks like he actually might have fallen off the horse, as now Crux is starting to lay sticky traps on the point itself just in case the enemies jump into them. It's quite a wise idea there, but he doesn't manage to hit anything. He does manage to hit like pipes of fury, but it's just not quite enough. Crux, he wants to take this Uber so he doesn't take any damage from the jump, and there you go, he won't, at least until he lands. But Head Crab keeping her cool, no damage whatsoever, and she will be able to keep her team. Finally, she does get pressured by a scout, so he's going to have to get a forced pop there. But no, keeps her team able to cap mid, and finally somebody caps mid. That, I think, took quite a while. Weekend Warriors continuing aggression. They are not going to stop with this. So B-Man down, Ska down, Brandon actually staying alive with 16 health left. If they only knew how hurt he was. Oh, that communication will be very key right now. But Puff just muscling his way onto the puppy right now. You didn't think I'd forget about that, did you? Although right now it's like a one-eared, one-eyed Cyclops puppy, but it still totally looks like a puppy, kind of. By the way, my parents have puppies now. I realize I'm getting distracted. But my parents, their dogs, had like 7 puppies. White Labs, they call them. White Labradors. They are the cutest little things. Oh, I'm trying to get my mom to send me a video of them because she posted it to Facebook, but I don't know how to like download that and then repost it to YouTube. So trying to get her to send me a video because, oh, they like squeal and yip at each other all the time and like roll around. I mean, if your cute sensor doesn't go off over like 7 puppies like being puppies, I don't know, you've got a defective cute sensor. That's all I can say. They keep trying to pass one off on me though, and I'm just like, okay, well, I've got school, I've got work, I've got videos, I've got social life. Basically, I would be able to spend about 2 minutes per day with this dog. And especially a lab needs a lot of attention, so I would not be a good owner for a dog. It's not that I don't want a dog, because I love dogs, just that I don't have time to be a good dog owner, so I'd rather they go to a better home. Snailboat getting taken out, though. Not sure what he was actually doing out here. Maybe trying to force an Uber or something, but now D-Flame is going for a pick. Looks like the same can be said about B-Man. But with a one-player advantage here for the next 5 seconds, I would think Weekend Warriors want to push in, and yet they are not, so they're looking for a better pick. It's going to be D-Flame with the sniper of his own, trying to get the med, I'm pretty sure. And he just completely blew his shot there, so now he's actually getting pressured away. We'll have to walk it back. And, oh, gotta watch out for the sniper. So B-Man wins that exchange. And it's really not that hard. Where's B-Man? B-Man! B-Man, thank you. Okay. I'll watch this camera for a little bit. They are actually pushing out now. And they're pushing out with a heavy. Snailboat taken out, but B-Man is going to continue to force enemies back. He's going for the shot on Head Crab, not able to get her. And now he's actually pressured, so very good fake retreat. What do they call it? A feint, I guess, by Weekend Warriors. They pretended retreat and then had the soldiers jump right into B-Man and destroy him. That's actually a really good kill here. But the Ubers are popped for both teams. Fred Wardo going to just stand and assert his dominance over this point as the heavy weapons guy. Now the Ubers are now down, and my god, how short-lived dominance is when a sniper is on your case. So now there is a soldier standing up here on this point, but it looks like the Weekend Warriors are actually losing a little too many players here, so this offense is not working for them. There's a good kill by D-Flame. He managed to take down the heavy very effectively, but then the rest of the team just kind of died, and really that push was not very effective at all. So Days of Our Lives pushing right back out to their second point. And Snailboat able to deal a lot of damage here. So I'm like actually all excited out. I've lost all of my energy. I think maybe it's just sugar crash. That's probably what it is, because I had like a huge epic sized Coke before this. Nice shot by D-Flame. Jay Beneducci in the binds. No, not, it was like one of those huge American stuff. So I go to Chick-fil-A and I order a small Coke. And a small Coke, like, you can't wrap your hand around it. It's huge. So you get the idea. I'm having an epic sugar crash right now. But the Weekend Warriors pushing in on this. The Ubers have been, an Uber has been exchanged, but not the other one. Puff taken out in midair, but Jay Beneducci jumping right into the med after the Uber's over. SS taken out. Weekend Warriors have not had to pop their Uber yet. B-Man and Freduardo are the only ones left. B-Man is going to be hiding. Can he be seen there? No, he cannot. So the question is, will he be able to stop this? There's going to be an Uber coming in, and that alone is going to be a problem. But he gets right into the face of D-Flame, taking him out. Very wise little ambush there to take out the sniper. Is it going to be enough? The Uber is just now fading away. B-Man comes in behind the heavy, able to deal so much damage. And he's going in after this med as well. Headcrab will get taken out by Crux. But the Weekend Warriors, their attack completely failed there. They weren't able to take out enough players. And everybody pretty much respawned at the same time for Days of Our Lives, walked out of the spawn doors, and just crashed onto that point. So it's just D-Flame left alive. He's going to go for a couple headshots here on this point. Oh, able to get a body shot off. Not quite enough, but actually he did finish off B-Man. B-Man falling through the air, not able to stop himself because he'd already hit his double jump. So that was pretty hilarious. D-Flame did manage to get the kill. And destroying Crux on this side. D-Flame showing us that this sniper is so useful, especially on a map like Process with all these long sight lanes and all these different angles of attack you can take. Going for the shot on SS, and he will take out the enemy med as well. It's going to be huge. The rest of his team will be able to follow this up very, very easily, able to take back this second point. I'm sure they've got their own heavy pushing up the hallway now, and the Weekend Warriors are feeling good about that little spree. D-Flame carrying them to victory right now on his back here in ESEA Intermediate. So the seventh place team in this match is looking pretty darn solid. The Uber onto the point right now, no response except for the heavy to just walk straight into the spun up minigun of his opponent. Brandon taking so much of this Uber, but he's got so much health on the point, and Weekend Warriors are now ahead of their opponents. They are very much ahead. It's 3-2. Boy, these are long rounds, but actually it's only been about 8 minutes, so not that long. It's like 4 minutes. Really, it's been like 1 minute for one round and then 7 for the other. It just feels long because I'm on a sugar low, and it's insane how little energy I actually have right now. Nonetheless, this is an exciting game, and so it keeps getting me pumped up every time something huge happens. Puff taking the heals, and D-Flame able to get the kill on Crux. I'm just reading off the kill feed right now. Puff actually wants to take a jump in on the enemy med. Can he get that med? No. No, he cannot. So, why is Ska on med? Wait a minute. Are they trading? What's going on here? SS has decided to play Soldier. Ska is on med. Huh. And Jay Beneducci with the ridiculous DM. By the way, if you don't know what DM means, deathmatch. Deathmatch is what they call it. It's basically just your skill at the game. Getting kills. Call it that. Deathmatch skill. That's what they call it. Yeah, it's pretty good air shot. Not gonna lie. Jay Beneducci, that was all right. That was all right. I'm making that meme face, the Obama face, the like, what is it? I swear I thought of this earlier today. Oh, Brandon eating a sticky trap. Oh, the not bad face. That's what it is. Not bad. Weekend Warriors though, this push very ill-fated, and now the med. I guarantee you this med should be dead. Scout's going to chase after him here, and what Scout is this? It's Snailboat. Having Snailboat on your ass is not a good thing. Headcrab trying to get away, but she cannot. Even with the needles, it is not going to help. So Snailboat manages to take down that enemy med, and that's going to be a huge deal. Days of Our Lives could tie this game right back up at 3-3 if they keep their Uber advantage and watch the flanks. Watching the flanks is so crucial right now. You might even say it is the crux of their push. But they take down Puff right away, and Crux actually... oh, this is the problem, though. If you don't watch the flanks, you're going to have Brandon dive in and kill your med. So Ska is down. That's not a good thing for them. They wanted to win this game based on that. Scout able to come in and deal so much damage, but D-Flame finally taking out Fredwardo on his soldier skills. Going to finish that one off. And actually, a nice little air shot there on this soldier coming in too. Not going to be quite enough to get the kill. And Fredwardo eats a rocket somehow. I didn't see where that was, but well, yeah, he didn't like that either. He's just like, what? Where'd that rocket come from? I don't know where the rocket came from. Jay Beneducci is the master of threading rockets where they don't belong. I've played against him before in Pugs, and I mean that in every sense of the word. He's a good soldier. It's kind of depressing. Because he beats you so hard. You know, like with a ruler or a rolled up newspaper or something. I'm not even sure if I'm done with this little analogy yet, but Afro is deciding he's done with it. Wants to jump in and do some aggressive damage here to the red team. They actually managed to get out pretty effectively. They're already on their own second point. Ska is just like, take that stupid escape plan off so I can heal you. God, stupid soldiers. Oh, those soldiers. If you're a medic, you know what I mean. It's like, of course, these guys don't actually intend for tap. Watch your flanks, guys. Oh my god. This map is, it's not that much different than Granary or Badlands, really. I mean, you gotta watch your flanks, or else you're just constantly gonna get bombed like that. Once again, Scout manages to get in behind them on the flank, and so they are gonna be able to take that out. But it shouldn't even be happening, is the whole point. Wow, Medic just got popped in the air, 32 health left, milked that Uber for a lot longer than maybe he even should have. But that's alright, as they will be able to keep their, well, they were gonna keep him alive, now they're probably not, though. Oh no, he'll get away. Okay, so that's pretty good. The Uber is keeping these soldiers moving forward, and they will hold on to this point, not getting it taken quite yet. Actually, they are surrounded, though, and they managed to take down SS on the soldier, but meanwhile, they lose Headcrab. Weekend Warriors not feeling too good about this hold. They thought they'd have it, and now their DM skills are just not quite up to snuff. And so they're not able to snuff out their opponents here. Crux is having some difficulty with his scout, though, and Brandon will take him down. Now there's a free med pick, or at least he thought there was, right up until Snailboat came in to save that med. So Snailboat, you're a hero, my friend. You are a war hero. You deserve a medal for that. You think they give out medals? I wonder if he has one. Snailboat, I bet he has one. Does he have one? Snailboat. Snailboat. We've got to see your chest. I want to see your chest, Snailboat. Take it all off. No, he doesn't have a medal on right now. That's too bad. I kind of wish he did. Because he could, you know, there's UGC medals. There's Ready Steady Pan tournament medals. What else is there? There's like tons of medals out there. So he totally should have one. Maybe he does and he just thinks it looks tacky. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. The minds of TF2 fashion. They are impossible to discern. Weekend Warriors losing a lot of ground here and a lot of players. They didn't lose their med quite yet, but there goes D-Flame going for some kind of a flanking move, and that time it didn't work out at all. SS already in on the enemy, and he's proving himself to be a pretty good soldier. Now standing on the point. Got to watch out for some damage coming in, but how did that rocket... Whatever. It did. So Headcrab is going to stand here. She's trying to block the point as long as possible, but it gets juggled off of it. So Days of Our Lives do manage to tie the game up here. It's now 3-3. Weekend Warriors against Days of Our Lives. And it's about half of this half remaining, if you know what I mean. 15 minutes and 51 seconds. Palindromes aside, we're getting out to the mid, and Afro's taking a huge jump across the point, able to get right in on top of that demo, but you got to be careful about this because he doesn't have a lot of health left, nor does he have a lot of rockets left. So that kind of jump, you really only get one chance to deal damage. Actually, he is the first to die. No overheal means that he just, he took a gamble, and that gamble did not pay off. Ska being a little bit careful about his positioning, as SS is the only one left from his team. So Afro, even though he died, might have managed to take a lot of attention away from the enemy team, and it looks like the rest of his team cleaned up. Cleaned up. The only problem is that Headcrab died, which, you know, happens a lot. Let's be frank here. In Half-Life and Half-Life 2, there's a lot of headcrabs, and they are pretty darn easy to kill. So naming yourself after, like, the faceless, you know, ninja, what do you call it? Uh-oh, uh-oh! Headcrab might die again here. Scout in on the med. Not able to get the kill yet. But Headcrab is still in trouble. Needs to grab a health kit quickly, or else there's going to be more enemies coming in after her pretty soon. Anyway, yeah, I'm taking the name of the nameless, like, henchman. You know, it just means that you are okay with your role of dying a lot, I guess. And, you know, if you're a med, pretty much it's going to happen anyway. You're, like, the highest value target on your team. Fredwardo realized... What? What do you mean no medic? You've got a medic. You've got Ska on the medic, I guess. I don't know what he means by that. Maybe their like main medic isn't even here, and so they're all just like trading off on med. Maybe they have a backup. That would make actually a lot of sense, I think. But Weekend Warriors jumping in. They got to take down that sentry gun, and they will do just that. Now Jay Beneducci getting up on the high ground. Problem is the rest of his team is dying, and they're not getting any kills at all. So unless he gets some kind of a crazy back cap, this ain't going to work. And he's not getting the back cap. That's not going to happen. He's just going to get destroyed. So Afro is the only one left. Will he go for some kind of an ambush play? Where is Afro? He is in the garage. So he's going to wait for the enemies to kind of cap that point and maybe go for a back cap, maybe go for the med, or maybe just wait for somebody to walk in past him. Any one of those options is good. Spots the sniper, so he does in fact do the play the waiting game and take down B-Man very easily. Playing like a good roaming soldier should, and B-Man asking who does that. Well, if you don't expect a roaming soldier to go for an ambush, then you're gonna have a bad time. Weekend Warriors now backing away from this point, but they did at least manage to get one important kill, or two, or whatever, slowing things down a little bit. Problem is, Ska is bringing in the rest of the team, and they're getting very aggressive. Headcrab will get away from this for now, but they may end up losing this point. Or not. Well, Heavy's going to try and stop it. Brandon actually still overhealed, but he's going to have to deal with a Heavy of his own, and that's just never fun from that sort of range. SS actually gets taken out, so the attacking team here is in a little bit of trouble. Headcrab, though, at 26 health, probably wants to hit the cabinet, and she will. So that is going to be defending probably for quite a while here, as the enemies are going to be bringing in an attack ever so slowly. They want to wait until they've got Uber advantage. Well, I'm sorry, not advantage, just an Uber. They want to wait until they have an Uber, is what I meant to say there. D-Flame wants to build up this sentry gun to be at least level 2, hopefully level 3, because he will get some pretty good knockback and damage capabilities from it. Plus, the higher level it is, the more HP it has, so the tougher it is to take it out. And there you go, it is at level 2 now. The rest of his team seems like they're getting a little bit aggressive here in their positioning. Yeah, they are. They're getting out into that second hallway with the Heavy, no less. So apparently they're very confident that their opponents do not have a sniper. Because if B-Man was on the sniper, I swear Brandon would not be where he was. Or shouldn't have been where he was, I guess. I don't know. Weekend Warriors still sitting back on the last point. You know, it's going to get a little boring here for a second. The Uber is ready to go, but, you know, they have to get positioned. They got to get in there and start going for picks. And these things, they take time. So here comes the attack now. D-Flame actually eating it really fast, and the sentry gun gets taken down by the Heavy right away. So finally Crux is down. It's actually a pretty big deal. Losing your Demo Man on a push like this means it's a lot harder to put down damage on the point and still be able to keep people standing on it. B-Man's wrapping around from up top as the rest of his team takes a lot of damage. He's not really doing anything. And finally the Uber is popped. He'll come in after a soldier. Will he get the kill? No! Great Uber flash there from a Headcrab just to keep that soldier alive from the meat shot that would have ended his life. So Weekend Warriors are successfully defending it. Can they push out and cap their second point is now the question. The transition play is what they really need to work out for them. And the problem is, guess who's on sniper? This guy. Wait, what does that sign say? See, what is it painted as? It's painted as a, what is that? I don't even know. I don't know. By the way, people ask me how to do that, how to just see what weapon an enemy's carrying. It's F. Default, it is F. You can check your keyboard layout settings and all that. I don't know what the exact command is, but it's there. So just press F, see if it works for you. Afro went on the spy, but B-Man saw that, so I don't think that's going to work out for them. Plus, he's trying to counter-snipe D-Flame. D-Flame, 75 health left, actually. Oh, no, you know what? I'm not sure they saw Afro. Afro, where are you? Afro. Afro. I don't think anybody saw him. I wonder if they realize there is a spy out here. Oh, they know. They have to know. Yep, Afro, you. Oh, that was ridiculous. Poor Afro. He just had nowhere to go. Wait a minute. It's going to be B-Man versus D-Flame once again. Oh, now this is really good pressure coming in from the scout. I like this move to bring in the scout at the same time, but actually the whole team has decided to push because they realize Afro is dead and not really going to be in a position to defend. However, the Uber is now over for both teams, so this is a time when red team, if they can get a pick right now or get some damage done, they really want to push in and try to cap it. They've got Fredwardo, I think, standing on the point, but now suddenly they're losing players. They need to back away, so that did not work for them at all. Crux going to start laying down some sticky traps, and he will hit that scout there. 10 health left on D-Flame. But D-Flame will get back and at least keep himself alive. B-Man taking some hits here, but he's still up. Brandon trying to dodge the shots here by crouching every so often. And the Weekend Warriors should be able to get out here and cap their second point. Cap the one-eared Cyclops puppy thing. I'm going to keep calling it that, so just deal with it. Weekend Warriors, yeah, that was a good defense by them, and now they've got the Uber advantage as well. Ska's actually dead. Didn't even catch how that happened. But with Ska dead, Weekend Warriors are in a great position here. B-Man did respawn as a sniper once again, or did he ever die? I don't even know, but he's on the sniper, and that's going to be tough to deal with. But, of course, these are IM teams. They know how to deal with the sniper. It's just the actual act of execution is not always there. But they know the theory. And Jay Beneducci coming right in on this medic, doing a lot of damage to Ska. He's at 53 health. Plus, here comes the Uber right now. They should be able to take out Ska. I'm sorry, yeah, take out Ska, no problem. And yet they are not. Ska gets away, and the Heavy decides, okay, well, if the medic just wants to walk into my gun, then the medic will walk into my gun, no problem. B-Man's going to get some pressure, though, and he's going to die. The Scout, D-Flame, does take him out. Playing the straight-up game, dodging the shots, and getting right up close. That's how you play Scout, ladies and gentlemen. Dodge the shots and get right up close. Weekend Warriors are now pushing their opponent's second point, though. They grabbed the puppy and kind of throttle it a little bit, you know, shake it around, make sure it knows who's boss. Problem is they're losing players, so apparently this puppy has teeth already and is deciding it doesn't like that sort of treatment. I mean, I wouldn't. You know, that's cruelty to animals, and I'm pretty sure there are several organizations that would not like me describing it that way. On air, you know, in front of impressionable children. Don't throttle puppies is kind of my point. They don't like it. SS, though, dealing some damage to Brandon, who will retreat and get away from there. Now they've got... Oh! Okay, well, SS knows how to play soldier. I'll tell you that right now. Brandon, though, does get away and is able to take out B-Man. So B-Man even thinks that was a nice shot. And now Brandon's going to come in and try to deal some more damage to the attacking team. This is just so back and forth right now. The Weekend Warriors had an opportunity to push into their enemy's last point, and instead they are being pushed back to their own second. And it's all because of how they treat puppies, honestly. I mean, they've got to treat them nicer if they want to keep them. That's just how it is. So, the Weekend Warriors pop their Uber for some reason. Completely missed why that is, but Ska is now backing out here. 75%, so actually they're trying to get aggressive, because if they can maintain some aggressive positioning and not lose all their players, the Uber will be really, really effective here. Still only 90% right now. Ska, if he gets pressured, is going to be in a lot of trouble. They've lost 2 players, but they've killed 2 now as well. Afro is down, and here the Uber's ready to go. So, oh no! Ska drops Brandon with a huge headshot. Headcrab might die here as well. But the Weekend Warriors just lost everyone. The control point is being contested. So the pick on Ska, pretty important. It's not going to help them stop the cap on second. But wow. Brandon, you and your sniper rifle. That was pretty ridiculous. Snailboat's in some trouble here. 33 health left, but he will grab that health kit. A little pack. And D-Flame claiming he's lagging. Yeah, whatever, D-Flame. We all know. We all know. But Weekend Warriors are now in some trouble on their last point. They've got a slight Uber disadvantage compared to Ska, who will be running probably a regular medigun still. Nobody has swapped to crits at all this game, and really, if there was a time to have done it, now would be that time. B-Man decided to go spy. Normally that would be Afro's job, but Afro, of course, is on the other team. So if you're going to have a spy on red, well, hey, might as well be B-Man. And he's going to go for a pick. Typically, when you ask Hardblue these questions, he decides that he really likes going for the pick on... Oh, there's a pyro there. That's scary. But yeah, Hardblue likes going for the picks on med or demo. Those two are the highest value picks you can get. Red already pushing in here with their Uber, so B-Man is like, oh, okay, well, I was going to try to help, but I guess you guys do your thing. Whatever. If he decloaks now, though, if he can get back on Headcrab fast enough, you know what? He's not going to. He's not even going to go for the med. What he's going to do instead is he's going to wait for the enemy team to push out, as everybody else died. and then he's just going to try to get a stab on whoever stays behind, and if he can do that, he might get the back cap to win the round. Might not even have to get a stab, but no, you know what? I think they realize there's something fishy's going on here. And yeah, so B-Man, you're screwed. Sorry, bro. Doesn't work. He tried, but yeah, that was just really weird. B-Man is he's laughing. I think maybe there's a miscommunication there, because the rest of his team pushed in before he even got a chance to try to get a pick. And usually if you send a spy in, you're going to wait to try to get a pick, and they didn't. So B-Man was just like, well, this is really weird. And it didn't work out at all, but it wasn't entirely his fault. Just kind of a team communication issue. B-Man decided to go back to more comfortable territory and snipe. Sniping is good. The question is now, how is this push going to happen? So let's try and break it down a little bit here. Blue team sending in a lot of players, getting very aggressive with the Uber, but you got to be careful, making sure Headcrab does keep Jay Beneducci alive. Fairly important thing to do. And now Headcrab's taking a bit of what do you call it, spam before the rest of her team gets the enemies out of there. Enemies will retreat, but they have 100% Uber of their own. Problem is they're losing a lot of players right now. They do at least get the kills on Afro and D-Flame, and now they should be able to push right back in. They want to do that immediately. Whoa! Don't let that heavy deal any damage. And that is going to be the heavy down. So now we do get to see the enemies pushing in. I'm sorry, the red pushing in. It's going to be Team Days of Our Lives recapturing the middle point. They shouldn't really have any problem with this. Thing is, we're playing midpoint ping pong right now as Headcrab almost has an Uber of her own again to push right back in with. Now they can push, but they got to be careful about this. Just because with Brandon, oh, you know what? I think Brandon got forward spawn, so he might actually be okay. But with Brandon down there, I'm not sure if they want to push until he's totally ready to go. He's actually on the sniper, so he's kind of waiting for a pick. B-Man's down though, so I think Weekend Warrior is going to try to push this right now. Puff going to be leading the charge, and Brandon sniping from behind, but he probably won't even be in position to do any real damage for a while as the red team just kind of backs off. And guess who almost has an Uber now? It's Ska. So, you know, ping pong time again, as long as Ska doesn't get his head lopped off here by Brandon, and he doesn't. He manages to pop the Uber just fine. Headcrab finally dying there, so we're going to maybe see a team capture and hold on to the middle point. My voice is dying right now. And maybe it's just because it's fall and the weather's drying up, and I don't know, I'm dying. This is crazy. Well, there goes Ska. So Brandon finally getting the pick. A little bit too late to save the med, but whatever. It's still going to be a nice little Uber advantage for Headcrab as long as she can get some kind of heals going on here. B-Man trying to keep the second point defended, and he'll be able to do that against Afro for a little while. And now I might go for a flank. Might just wait for the enemy to go for a flank. It seems like what he really wants to do. Problem is, they might not even use the sewers. Not everybody uses these sewers for any sort of flanking, and right now you do see that the blue team is actually going to just go through their main choke. B-Man not really seeing any sort of attacks coming through here. Oh, there's a scout. Problem is, he was just a little bit impatient there. I mean, I was too. I wouldn't have even stayed there as long as he did. But he will just start guarding the flank as a normal scout should now. And they want to make very sure they don't let any enemies in through any avenues. Turns out they did. So Snailboat is down. Weekend Warrior is able to get in just through the main choke. And they still have Brandon on that sniper, which is very scary for the enemy team. Ska managing to get up to about 75% Uber here. Plus Crux forces an early Uber out of the enemy team. So now they have to do what's called kiting, which is actually an MMO term, I think, where you... Well, whatever, I'll talk about it in a little bit. But what a shot from SS. This guy knows his soldier very, very well. A good Uber, so very good kiting out of the red team. Kiting just basically means dodging damage until the enemy is vulnerable. It's not just an MMO term. It's pretty much any term where the enemy, you know, is like a big, powerful boss or whatever. You just kind of kite it around until it's vulnerable, and then you deal a damage. But until then, it's all about dancing away and avoiding the damage. Kiting, ladies and gentlemen. Snailboat taken out right away. He was on the Pyro, which is a little bit of a weird choice. Brandon going to go for the back cap. Problem is, a sentry, and that is not going to work at all. 6 health left, and he is dead. Sounds like a medic just took a little bit of damage, but Puff wants to get in here and deal some damage of his own. B-Man thinking about dropping that. He's going to have to drop it. Okay, there you go. Puff taken down, so the sentry has been dropped. Weekend Warriors just bombing players into the point. Are we almost out of time here? I'm thinking maybe we are, because they're calling GG. Are they tied? Wait, are they tied? Because I thought they were tied. Are we going to overtime? Well, so we're actually in a golden cap round now. Puff taking the nice fast rollout, but he did take a lot of damage on it, so We'll see who wins this mid. I mean, it's all up to who can get aggressive, who can deal the damage. Scouts right now, in fact, most of the red team holding the high ground first. That can actually be a double-edged sword. And right now, they are able to deal some damage, taking out Fredward, but they've lost quite a few players. And they need to back away. So Weekend Warriors in some trouble here. They lose their med. Headcrab is down. It's just Puff left alive, and he might die as well. This is not going to be good for our Warriors from the town of Wecan. I don't even know why they call themselves that, honestly. But this is pretty crazy. As right now, this could be the quickest golden cap of all time, or just about, especially for a CP process. You see the Weekend Warriors desperately trying to force the pop early out of Ska, but it's not going to happen. And oh, never mind. Hold up a second here. Okay, so I wanted to catch this, but actually, literally the second he spawned, what he did, D-Flame walked out of the doors, looked through his scope, found the med, and made Ska drop the Uber, pushing into this point. Ridiculous stuff. That actually saves the round right now for the Weekend Warriors, or does it? They're losing a lot of players, but they are actually getting the kills. Crux trying to lay down damage, but he's going to die, and these players are staying in for too long now, so Days of Our Lives losing out. And we are in a golden cap round, and I'm pretty sure that this is roughly the same rules as they do it in vanilla, so over in European rules. So it's going to be like a 10-minute round where the first person who caps wins, and at the end of the time, I think, if nobody has capped, then it's going to be whoever owns the middle point. Weekend Warriors managed to recapture their second, and they're going to have a nice little Uber advantage to push on the mid with, so it's going to be pretty good for them. Afro taking a nice big jump, but he will take a lot of damage as well after the jump, and oh, eats that pipe so hard. Ska is going to have to retreat here nonetheless, though, getting out of the point, so they're not able to hold it. They were at least able to force the Uber out of Headcrab, and we might see some more mid-point ping-pong for a little while here. Actually, I'm being informed that they may not actually do the holding mid thing here. Thank you to the Gull Guy from Stream Chat. Let me know about that. I don't actually know the particular rules of this because I don't see it very often. You don't see a lot of overtime. So we'll find out what happens here. But Weekend Warriors, they want to push this. Interesting, since their opponents are down a man but up in the Ubers, and so they've decided, if we can force the Uber out of the enemy med, just kind of back off for a little while, and that's what we're going to do. And actually, are they even going to back off? Because they just killed B-Man. And now, does look like D-Flame's in on the flank already. He able to try and out-DM. The Scout does take down Snailboat, who flips through the air after that. The Ragdoll just kind of doing a couple of somersaults. Fred Wardo jumping in, forcing the Uber, but the problem is now everybody from Days of Our Lives has to back away. They want to win this game. They want to put themselves up in the standings and give themselves the opportunity to go to playoffs, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do that now. If they lose this game, they'll get dropped down. They were already ranked like 9th, and their opponents are 7th, so this could actually be really good for Weekend Warriors. They might even jump in the rankings a little bit if they can win this game. So Days of Our Lives, can they get themselves as playoffs contenders still, or will they lose the game to the Weekend Warriors? Jay Beneducci, not sure what the deal is with that particular bit of trash talk. I don't know. Whatever. Apparently plus W with plus forward is not a good thing. But Afro thinking about wanting to push in. The thing is, they've got D-Flame on the sniper right now, and D-Flame wants to snipe. He wants to snipe enemy medic's head. And if he can do that, that is basically going to be the end of the game. Because enemy medic will lose the Uber, of course. And his team can just push right on into last. Now, D-Flame is staying very, very still, and I wonder if that's because he's trying to be stealthy about this. I'm not sure if the enemy actually knows there's a sniper yet. Of course, they'll find out soon enough. But D-Flame is starting to get a little bit closer. He wants to push this in. He wants to get a pick. And if he can make it the medic pick, so much the better. But if he can get anything... Oh, he spots the heavy! Not able to finish him off. But, oh no, B-Man takes him out. So that is going to be actually really good for the defenders. Snailboat continuing to build a sentry gun. And the Weekend Warriors are just going to have to, like, stick it out pretty far forward. Oh, Brandon. Never mind. They might actually lose this right now. D-Flame coming right back up on the sniper. And Puff is laying sticky traps, but they're not working that effectively. Good Uber flashing here by the blue med, and that is going to be, oh no, there goes Ska. Puff killed up against a rock, and finally the Weekend Warriors pop an Uber in a very awkward position. D-Flame does get another kill on SS, So that's going to be a soldier down. Afro jumping in to try and stop the capture of the point. Does take down B-Man. Meanwhile, Crux is down from D-Flame, so the snipes are continuing. Afro is using a lot of aggression here to push his enemies back. It is a medic-engineer combo right now, and that medic-engineer combo actually takes down Afro, so pretty cute. I like it. But Weekend Warriors still have the advantage right now, just because they still hold their enemy's second point. And so they get another opportunity eventually to push back in. Brandon is going to be on the spy. D-Flame on the sniper, but wow, nice jump in there by SS, does take down Puff, and now Headcrab is down as well. No med, but Ska is down. D-Flame with another nice pick. And meanwhile, where is Brandon? That is the only other question I have. If Brandon is going for a back cap, no, he's just going to go for a back stab on Fredwardo. So that already is a really good thing. He can't quite get this back cap, though, and he is going to get killed by a sentry gun. Boom. Or maybe just by Snailboat himself. But the Weekend Warriors finally do lose the puppy. So they are not able to hold on to that puppy. It's a slippery puppy. It really is. Oh, but Crux is he's retreating. So once again, Weekend Warriors put a lot of time on the point. It's just that... Ew, that looked really gross. Weekend Warriors are backing up once again, and Brandon deciding he wants to play heavy. Really, it's tough to pick what off-class you're going to use in some cases. Still, WCW not able to finish things off. Maybe they had too many off-classes, I almost want to say, because having that spy, I mean, was it really that useful? He got one pick, but then he just kind of waltzed in and died after that. And that was a pick that he didn't need to get. You know, the enemy heavy was actually taking a bunch of damage anyway, and they already had a sniper who should have been able to kind of take care of him. So, might have been better to just have a scout. Not gonna lie, or a soldier, or whatever they were missing. WCW, Weekend Warriors, gonna be hanging out on the point now, and they are in some trouble now. They do have an Uber of their own to pop here, but it's like a team with a heavy versus another team with a heavy. B-Man taken down, but this is going to start to slow down quite a bit just because of the existence of the heavies on the field. SS taken down, so there's 2 players gone from the blue roster. 6v4, now 5v4, and now 4v4. So a good little fadeaway, couple of kills there by the blue team. They just got to be careful not to take too much damage here from the invading Reds. The Weekend Warriors, they want to finish this off. Snailboat coming in for like a back cap or a kill or something. He does get the kill on Jay Beneducci, and DayZ of Our Lives are still trying to fend off their enemies. They should be able to get this, I think, on the second point. They don't have an Uber advantage, but they do have a bit of a positioning advantage, and right now they've got a player on that second point, so Snailboat's still able to deal so much damage, and this has been such a long, incredibly long game. Crux just able to push his opponents out, and now there's going to be an Uber for both teams, so DayZ of Our Lives is going to be trying to push in again and finish this off. I think they might just be able to do it. They don't really have any off-classing at the moment. Snailboat is going back up on the scout, so once he is in position, this could... Ooh, B-Man dies. Well, now they're going to have to wait for him, if they want to make it a good push, that is. They're also going to have to watch out for the sniper. They'll know there's a sniper now because that AWP is loud. It's just loud as all get out. But D-Flames are ready to go for the picks. There's just nobody peeking their heads out. D-Flame's just like, come on, where are you guys? I'm shaking my sniper rifle around. I'm having a fun time over here, but I mean, oh, want to take down B-Man. Never mind. So there you go. Finally getting the kill. Weekend Warriors needed to at least hold on to their point and possibly try pushing out, but I mean, yeah, all they got was a scout kill. It's not usually a pushable kill. And here's why, because there's going to be so much spam coming into their team. D-Flame is under pressure. Under pressure! But, yeah, looks like that pressure was fended off. What just happened? Why pop Ubers? I cannot words because Uber pop. Weird. I don't know. Actually, that Uber was not popped right when I saw it. It was only flashed to Crux. I think what happened was Scott popped the Uber, had it forced on him, and lost a player. I don't know. Regardless, he was already like almost done with the Uber and just kind of gave it to Crux at the end there for no reason. But the, yeah, it's no big deal. The problem they're having now is that they're going to lose the second point to Weekend Warriors, who still have 100% Uber. They don't want to lose Jay Beneducci, though, so they got to be careful not to drop him, but I don't think they will. And Headcrab doing a good job of keeping most of her team alive. D-Flame is probably off on the flank somewhere, so not able to get the heals. But probably doesn't want the heals anyway. We'll just grab a health kit or something and be fine. SS is taken down. Afro trying to chase down an opposing soldier, but not able to get him quite yet. And Weekend Warriors able to grab that middle point again. So this looks good for them, but I mean, we've seen it go back and forth from last to last over and over again. Afro with the ridiculous jumps. Problem is now there's a heavy to stop those jumps. and Afro will get taken out. So I do like the style of roamer that Afro plays, but it seems like he forgets that there is a heavy on the field, and that really does shut down roaming play a lot more than you might expect. Ska is going to have to retreat here, leaving one soldier in to probably die. B-Man going down. Soldier actually is still alive, but I think it might be SS. And he does get taken out. A couple of players down for our blue team. The only person they've killed so far is Brandon. And Ska is in trouble right now. He is trying to take out this scout who's on his case. But can he do it? I don't think he can. Going for those needle kills, but it is just not going to happen. And now Jay Beneducci might need some health, but you know what? It's 4v1. B-Man, I mean, he knows they're all damaged, but he's not going to be able to... Blah, 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 blah. Well, 2 kills. B-Man going huge. Going for the Demo Man. Can he get it? He can. That's a 3 kill for B-Man with 2 health left. But now he's got to be really careful. There is going to be a jumping soldier going to take him down. And you know what? This is actually looking pretty good for our defending team here. Days of our lives. I do like how they managed to basically rely on B-Man to destroy the enemy team. But here's the thing. We do have a spy, disguised as a scout. Is he gonna go for a back hap or is he gonna go for a stab? He sees that med. He wants the med. He wants blood, and it has to be the blood of a German, and he gets it, taking down Ska. There was no Uber drop there, but Brandon is still alive and at large, and Weekend Warriors getting saved there on the middle point by that spy play. Very good spy play from Brandon. We finally see a spy doing exactly what it's supposed to do in this game, which is kill that medic. And since he's still alive, he can still deal some damage here. Do not count him out just yet. There, now you can cut him out. Now he's dead. But Weekend Warriors, I mean, they had a good run. The problem is now they're just losing players again, and they're not watching their flank. B-Man did get taken out. But I don't like their positioning. And I do like the positioning of Days of Our Lives. They're actually holding really effectively here. I'm trying to make sure they don't get flanked. Got to watch every entrance, and if you can kind of restrict yourself into choke points that make it so there's really only one entrance, well, so much better. Now they're actually on their puppy, just kind of standing on it. And I have to recommend don't stand on puppies, but in this case it's okay because it's a cyborg one-eared puppy, so they have no feelings. A good jump in by the soldier and a good Uber over on the flank. Plus Brandon takes down Fredwardo, so suddenly the defenders, Days of Our Lives, losing a lot of players. Snailboat getting taken out by Brandon as well. The sniper doing so well here. Crux wants to start laying down some sticky traps or at least some damage, trying to force his enemies to die in that hallway. But there's only 2 players left alive for Days of Our Lives. They pop the Uber, trying to stop the cap on this point. They will stop it temporarily and they'll get some respawn, so I think they might be able to defend this. But the repush by Weekend Warriors, if they can stay... Oh, Dove! Actually, Dove stayed alive, jumping onto 3 stickies. I would not have stayed alive in this situation, but you know what? He did. And once again, Days of Our Lives proving they actually have a bit of a superior team play. Weekend Warriors, they just seem to get a little bit too aggressive, and they're throwing away pushes that they really should have. They should be able to get these. Afro, though, doing the typical roamer thing. Not able to get out, sadly. He will die. But at least took down that med. And it seems like every time Days of Our Lives try to push out, they are encountering medic killers. Brandon, once again, with another wicked headshot. And so I'm really liking the play from Brandon right now on the sniper. He is keeping his team alive and keeping them in possession of the middle point. So I'm happy with it. Brandon, you're rocking it right now. You are rocking it. Crux doing his best to try and slow down this capture, but it will not happen. He did some damage, but he's going to have to retreat now. He's going to have to be really careful about this, too, because he's at such low health. He wants to lay down sticky traps, but he's got to reload. That's going to be a problem. Finally getting the reload on, but he's really far back here to be laying those traps. So by the time the enemies get there, they're already going to have the Uber. Head Crab at an Uber advantage, plus they still have Brandon on the sniper. Just going to go for a couple of shots here, I think. Wants that overheal. And he'll get it. He'll get what he wants because he's the sniper. The sniper this team needs. But not the one they deserve, right? I don't know. Whatever. Brandon going to be able... Well, no. Going to be able to just kind of walk back and ask for another overheal, I think. Kind of rotating around, looking for the perfect angle. They actually had a huge Uber advantage, but decided not to push it because they really want to get a pick here. They want to ensure that they get the damage done, and they will. They're taking down a heavy. They're going to push into the last point. This could be it for Days of Our Lives. They kill Brandon, but they lose B-Man, and so now there's 2 players down. They still have the sentry gun over in that left-hand corner. So if any, oh no, the sentry gun goes down right away. I was going to say if anything matters, it's going to be that. It took a little bit of attention. The Uber is really good here right now for the blue team. They're able to kill a lot of the weak hand warriors. D-Flame and J Beneducci are down. Headcrab running away with the Uber saw out. So things are not looking very good right now for this particular little push here from weak hand warriors. Why aren't they able to make this happen? That's the question. I mean, I know that pushing this last point is very hard. It is not a good last point to push. Very, very much in favor of the defenders. But it just seems like the kills don't happen fast enough. They aren't able to get the med. They aren't able to get the big damage classes. And so, you know, once they kill that heavy and they kill one scout, they think they're okay, but they just can't focus anyone on that last point. And that's part of the problem. Now, B-Man wants to sneak around here. You gotta be careful, but it looks like this time around, Days of Our Lives will actually get the kill. You know what? I'm pretty darn sure, and I'm gonna keep saying pretty darn, I'm pretty darn sure this is actually not a 10-minute round, because I think we've already passed 10 minutes. This might be like 30 minutes. I don't know. This is like incredibly long. So if you're still watching this with me after like an hour and a half, good on you. You are a wonderful person, and I like you. I like you a lot. If we meet in real life, then I'll shake your hand. If we've already met in life, I hope I've already shaken your hand, because I usually do that. It's kind of like the de facto greeting. Just kind of a thing I do. So, no, right now, Days of Our Lives back on the last point once again. Weekend Warriors ready to push with an Uber, but we've seen what happens in this situation. Weekend Warriors are not able to seal the deal. They just can't, they can't close. They don't know how to close. Brandon wants to shoot the heavy. The heavy sees the sniper dot, and no, Brandon's not going to get away with that. And he does get the heals, kind of baiting enemies into his soldiers using that rocket launchers. But I'm starting to not be able to talk. That's how exhausted I'm getting from this game, because it is a ridiculous one. Brandon sees the med, but the med sees his sniper dot, and that is not going to happen, Brandon. Sorry, bro, but you need to rotate again, because this angle is not going to work for you anymore. The scout. No, scout is perfectly fine. They're quick. They're just too quick. They're too squirrely, and they're too quick. So Brandon, the sniper play is not really working for him right now, and it's because the enemy knows to expect it. They know to get aggressive. This is what you have to do. You just have to deny the use of the choke points, and that's why the scout keeps like walking right into him, because they're checking those chokes at every available opportunity. These scouts are just kind of like pressuring him all the time. So Brandon's not able to get clean shots on anyone. Until maybe now. He's got the sniper rifle all the way fully charged. Gonna go for maybe a body shot on the sniper, or the engineer, I'm sorry. Engineer is just hiding for dear life. Manages to just jump and dodge past. So Brandon doesn't get anything happening, and my voice is going to die. It's just literally, it's going to die. I'm going to have to dig it a little grave and find a new voice. And I don't think you're gonna like the new voice, because the new voice, you know, is probably gonna be a little more boring, a little bit less interesting, a little bit more monotonous. Afro getting taken out on defense. Brandon wants to kill, and he just can't hit any shots right now. Brandon is, finally hits one on Snailboat, and he wants to finish it off with the SMG, just do a little bit of damage there, but it's not going to happen. He hits Scott with a body shot. That's huge. Now Weekend Warriors are actually going to try to push in here. They've got the Uber advantage. They can be invulnerable for 8 full seconds here, taking down the sentry gun, taking down a bunch of players. There's only 2 left. It's Fredwardo on the heavy, and he's not able to stop this. Finally, a game-ending capture after like a billion years of a game. But it was a good game. Weekend Warriors versus Days of Our Lives. That means Weekend Warriors, the higher seeded team, won it, and they will continue their dominance on their way to the playoffs. GG, ladies and gentlemen. Do hit subscribe on youtube.com/fatmop, please. I'm also on Twitter at SalTF2 or SaltF2, however you prefer to pronounce it. I tweet things sometimes. I've got a Steam group. I've got all kinds of stuff. Most of it's linked in the description. So yeah, if you wanna like figure out when Sal's doing stuff, you can just check all that, because usually I announce things on the stuff. So see you later.